The sale of illegal drugs is the second biggest business on Earth. In its 1997 World Drugs Report, the UN estimated the value of the market at $400 billion, ranking drugs alongside arms and oil in terms of the world's largest traded goods. Not surprising, really, when you consider that drug use is as old as mankind itself, and human beings have always had a desire to eat or drink substances that make them feel relaxed, stimulated, or euphoric. No kidding, you don't say. Gee, I thought we invented them in the 60s. So, how did the myth that drugs are bad for you, get going, and why is it for that reason, and that reason alone, allegedly, drugs are illegal? Let's see. First of all, globally deaths from illegal drugs in 2002 were 100,000. That's 20 times less than deaths from sexually transmitted disease. But, funnily enough, I don't see a war on fucking and sucking, do you? Second, the idea that we care about people so much we must stop them taking drugs is so absurd when you look at the suffering we allow. It beggars belief anyone would swallow this pish. Let me run through some suffering and you'll see what I mean. 150 million dead people from starvation and malnutrition each year. Cost of saving them, let's see, 20 billion, and that's a huge exaggeration. And 20 billion is half of what America alone spends on enforcing drug laws. Sheesh, way to prioritize your spending. Could it be the real reason and the only reason drugs are illegal is to make money? Well, in December 2009, the United Nations Drugs and Crime Czar, Antonio Maria Costa, claimed, "Illegal drugs money saved the banking industry from collapse," he said. Yes, he claimed that the proceeds of organized crime were the only liquid investment capital available to banks on the brink of collapse during the credit crunch. He said that up to 352 billion of drugs profits was absorbed into the economic system. Absorbed? What does that mean exactly? Laundered. Laundered into the economic system. As a result, in many instances, money from drugs was the only liquid investment capital available. Liquidity was the banking system's main problem, and hence liquid capital became an important factor. Interbank loans were funded by money that originated from the drug trade and other illegal activities, whatever they may be. There were signs that some banks were rescued that way. Costa declined to identify countries or banks that may have received drug money, saying it would be inappropriate. Inappropriate, eh? Oh wow, we can't have something inappropriate. Let's move on and ask yourself, what's happening today? You think banks aren't still cleaning up 300 or 400 billion a year for Carlos and the other franchise holders of drugs money on Earth? Of course they are. If anything, they're making even more money because times are tough and people like to get out of their face when times are tough. So, join the revolution against the evil fascist banking corporation ruling over us all with an iron fist, no trouble at all, and say no to illegal drugs. Say no to propping up capitalism with heroin from Afghanistan, cocaine from Bolivia, and grass from Mexico. Say no to overpriced plants that are free and your birthright as a living being on planet Earth. Say no to fascist flying scum pretending morality is in any way involved in their sleazy, mafia-like control of human behavior. Say no to drugs being illegal. Say no to governments monitoring your state of mind, your point of view, your leisure time, or your spiritual window to the infinite. Say no to illegal drugs. Know what I mean?